I have updates for you guys. Come with me. Let us start in the garage, where all of the fun and magic and cat births take place. First, we're gonna check on the mom and babies who came to me recently, who mom was a little more spicy and the babies were sweet, and oh my gosh, they're not there. What even happened? They moved inside. Mom was really, really sweet. She seems to only be a little bit spicy if I don't pet her enough. Like, she literally reaches out, grabs my hand, and pulls it towards her. So if I'm not paying enough attention to her, then it seems like she's swatting at me, but she's just like, I am the most important thing in this room. Why are you even looking at my kittens? So yeah, they're inside. We'll go see them in just a second. You'll get to see them in just a second. Hold on. Just hold your horses. Okay, but we also have to check on the other babies who are so big. They're so big now. Hello? What are we doing? Oh, here she comes. The mayhem herself. The chaos. Remember, what? Oh my goodness. So remember, the tabby girl, that's Mayhem, she's crazy. That is Manic, our little gray boy, and then this is Mischief. And that's actually very fitting because he's tried to like escape every time and like go out into the garage area. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. Hello? Hello? Oh my goodness. Camera won't even focus on you, you're too cute. See, this is what I mean. Sir, this is like, oh. Negative ghostwriter. Okay, so just for a little even better update. Oh my goodness. That was Manic. This is Mischief. You can't, I don't even know if you can tell, but they have like little white, you have white eyebrows. They're cute. So cute. Okay, I'm sorry. And then finally, the most chaos is of a tabby. You're so chaotic. Yeah. Your problem. Yeah, you are. Okay. I just gave them kind of a refresh in their room. Let me give you a little tour. So we saw kittens. Yes, we see them. Kittens. They have a fresh new litter box. Big sleigh. Negative ghostwriter back in. Fresh water, fresh food, and I've started to, like, dry food is back there. I've started to give, why are you the way that you are, huh? What are you doing? You're so cute. You're so cute. Uh-oh, we lost one. Oh, sir. Negative. So I've started putting food, wet food out. As you can see, Manic was sitting on it, so it's going great. Everyone's super smart and it's all good, to try and convince them to eat. Because once they are eating on their own, then they can come inside and hopefully join the other mom and her babies, and we can have their mom, Mama Mystique, she can go back. She'll be done. She'll be done. I know. Are you done with me? You didn't know free meals came with handling, huh? No. Okay. Anyway, that's the outside, the actual outside garage babies. I think in a future video, I'm definitely gonna do a what's a feral cat versus a non-feral cat, because I see this all the time on the internet and I don't blame anyone for it. It's just like, honestly, it's just kind of semantics, but feral is a behavior and not a cat. So you can have a feral cat, you can have a sweet cat, you can have a social cat, you can have a scared cat, but every outside cat is not a feral cat. Cats outside are outside cats. There are owned outside cats. There are feral outside cats. Typically, we like to call the cats outside that are being fed, like in big colonies, we call them community cats, because it takes a community to take care of them and make sure that they are spayed and neutered, fed, and then kept up to date on any medical needs that they need. So anyway, one day I'll do a video on that, because Mama Mystique, feral. Mama Garage, not feral. If you can figure out the wet food, then you can come out. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? No. No, they don't. Anyway, on to the others. Okay, I think this is where I'm gonna have Kay kind of minimize me into the corner. So Kay, put me in the corner. and I'm gonna show you some videos of the kittens and mama upstairs. I have settled on names. So our little calico is Miscellaneous. Our little tabby is Automobile or Otto. The little black kitty is Oil Change, so I can call him Ollie. And then the little tabby is Kayak, so I can call him Kaya. And that's them. This is my aunt, and you're mine. You're mine. This is mine. She's mine. So you're gonna watch kittens, and I'm gonna answer a few questions that I got on the video where we spayed and neutered 13 pregnant cats. And we had a lot of questions about spay aborts, and honestly, I was very proud. You guys asked a lot of questions very respectfully, and I will respectfully answer them. Because I think that's how we grow. That's how we grow, that's how we change, that's how we do better, you know what I mean? Okie pokey. First question we are going to go over is the spay abort procedure more expensive than a standard spay for the non-pregnant girlies? The answer is yes. So spay is when we remove the ovaries and the uterine horns. She's gonna be a doctor, which is basically the uterus, which is where fetuses grow. In a non-pregnant animal, it's very simple. It's just a little bit of tissue that we take out, no problem. But in a pregnant animal, it gets a little bit more complicated because there's obviously more to remove. We're still gonna be taking the uterine horns, we're still gonna be taking the ovaries, but we actually have to take out the fetuses within the uterus. So it's a little more complicated, it is a little higher risk for the mom, and it's a little bit more expensive, but still worth it in my humble scientific mind. This one was ha ha hee ha. Not really a question, but you know, it is what it is. Just saying, I was sure the garage story was going to include an explanation of the missing shoe, but no, I'm still wondering. In that video, I walked into my living room with 2 different colored socks, and some of you thought it were shoes. They were not shoes, they were socks. I don't have matching socks, except for right now. You're welcome. Next one, what time is it considered too late for a spay abort, and at what point do you C-section and spay or just let them birth and spay after? So it depends on the vet, first of all, how late in a pregnancy they will perform a spay abort. The vets that we work with will do it literally up until the day of birth. So really there's no like limit as to when they will perform a spay abort. Some vets will not do it past a certain time. Thankfully our vets will do it basically if they're pregnant and they're not giving birth, they will go ahead and spay them. If the cat is under anesthesia, at no point will we C-section the babies. She's either going to give birth in my garage or we're going to spay abort that pregnancy, so we're not going to C-section them. That just is what it is. Sometimes, it's also important to know that sometimes cats can look like they are like super pregnant, about to give birth, and then they still hold on for like 2 or 3 weeks. So you can't really tell by how big they are. You would need to do some other testing to see how far along they are, but that gets more expensive. And then if we're a rescue, we're looking into funds and what's more efficient use of funds. And the most efficient use of funds in order to reduce the number of suffering cats and kittens in the world is spay abort. Okay, great question though. Love that question. Speaking of hormones, which I loved this question, and I think you're about to get a little bit of Dr. Mary because I think it's very interesting. How does the abortion affect the cat's mothering response? Does it never get triggered and they return to normal life immediately, or is it sort of an inevitability for them once the process starts going? Great question, because it's very interesting. So a little bit of a lesson here. I'm gonna put a little diagram here. So when an animal is pregnant, they have very high levels of something called progesterone. Progesterone is pro-gestation. So it's basically saying, hello bestie, we are pregnant, let's keep those levels high. We're pregnant, we're pregnant, we're pregnant. And that tells the body that, guess what, we're pregnant. So when you have very high levels of progesterone, your pregnancy keeps going. Something that was very interesting that I learned in school is the reason that we have like different gestational lengths is essentially because the way it is determined that a fetus is ready to be delivered is basically they run out of space inside the mother's womb. So that actually causes an increase in cortisol in the developing fetus, which if you don't know, cortisol is our stress hormone. That cortisol causes that progesterone to drop by converting it to a different hormone called estrogen. Then, once that estrogen drops, it tells the body, bestie, we're not pregnant anymore. And so muscles start contracting and then the birthing process starts. So that drop in progesterone is what's going to cause the birth. That's when cats start going into labor. Interestingly, in dogs, you can have that drop in progesterone. Let's say you do a spay abort on a dog and you have that level of progesterone drop because they're no longer pregnant. What's interesting in dogs, and I don't believe it happens in cats as well, although I think it can happen, in dogs, when you have that progesterone level drop, normally if they're giving birth, that signals to the dog's body like, uh-oh, we need to start lactating. So they'll start lactating and having those hormones come about for lactation. Britta. And conversely, if they have a spay abort, they also have a drop in progesterone levels, but there's nothing to nurse, but they can still have that like milk production. So anyway, it kind of depends on the species. Dogs it happens, cats I don't believe it happens. Here's the thing about cat pregnancies. They are not planned. They're not planning to have babies, they're not planning to have families, they're not planning on retirement, like they're not planning on getting old. Everything a cat does in terms of reproduction and a lot of things is due to hormones. That's because they have high hormones sometimes and low hormones sometimes, and if you take away those hormones, it basically takes away any of those feelings. So you take away progesterone and their estrogen, because that's the other hormone that's important, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Hopefully it doesn't bore you to death. I find it very interesting. Hopefully my chart kind of helps you. So yeah. Hopefully that's good. There was another question about if the surgery takes mothers longer to heal, and it really doesn't. It's kind of the same thing as a regular spay. They seem to just recover really fast. Guys, big boys, I'm recording a video. I'm sure that bugged you guys for the last 5 minutes. Hold on. This is just the friendliest of friendly reminders that Girl Boss and Grand Larceny are still looking for their forever homes. That is who's up there taunting him with his toy. If anyone wants two precious boys, these are the ones. And Tony. Tony's just somewhere else right now. Look at them. You can hold him. You can just sling him over your shoulder. He screams for it. He wants it. He loves it. Okay, that's enough. I hope you enjoyed the kittens. I hope you enjoyed the little update. Let me know what you want to see in the comments below, but otherwise, you're just coming along in the journey that is whatever this is. Love you. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.